Welcome to the deep dive. You sent us The Complete Idiot's Guide to Amazing Sex by Sari Locker, and that's exactly what we're doing today.
Yep, diving right in.
We're going to pull out the most valuable, most interesting bits from this 1998 book, all about understanding and, well, enjoying your sexuality.
Right. The idea is to kind of give you a shortcut, get you informed, maybe even surprise you a little.
Exactly.
And this book, it really tried to cover everything. I mean, basics like anatomy, sexual response,
Uh-huh.
but also communication, body image, even like different sexual practices and health stuff.
And the author's approach, it was very open, wasn't it? Trying to reduce that shame factor.
Totally. Very encouraging. Let's just talk about sex openly. That was the vibe.
Okay, so let's start with the big picture, attitudes about sex. The book notes how things have, well, really shifted over time.
Oh, definitely. It contrasts past taboos with the more open discussions starting to happen more in the 90s. It pushes for seeing sex as, well, healthy, natural.
And it gets you thinking about your own beliefs, right? Where did they come from? Upbringing, society.
Exactly. And it encourages maybe unlearning some of the negative stuff. It mentions how kids naturally explore their bodies.
Right, I remember reading that part. They explore, but then often get told, like, hide that, or that's bad.
And that message can stick. So as adults, the book suggests recognizing that and maybe moving past any leftover shame from way back when.
It doesn't shy away from tougher topics either, like societal messages around pornography or homosexuality.
No, it tackles them directly. Points out how negative teachings can create guilt if your own feelings don't line up.
The core message seems to be, it's okay to learn about sex. It's wise, not embarrassing.
Precisely. Feel empowered to seek knowledge.
Okay, so from attitudes to action, communication, the book hammers this home.
Absolutely critical. You have to talk to your partners, not just about the physical act, but emotions, health, what you actually like. And it mentions how couples initiate things differently. Some verbal, some nonverbal. It even mentioned dolls.
Yeah, that was an unusual example. But the point is finding what works for you as a couple, a shared language.
Exactly. But then there's the non-negotiable part.
No means no.
Yes, very clear on that. No room for the old, dangerous idea of playing hard to get. It states plainly, ignoring a no is rape.
No ambiguity there. Stop means stop.
And it advises being clear when you are saying no, so the message is always understood. Respecting boundaries, crucial stuff.
On a lighter note, it also had practical tips for just finding time.
Yeah, and busy lives. Little things like leaving work early sometimes, lunch dates.
Turning off the TV. Or dinner in bed, which sounded kind of fun but maybe messy.
Maybe. But the point is being intentional about making space for intimacy.
Right, requires effort, which leads kind of nicely into the next big topic, body image.
It acknowledges how media images can really affect how we feel about ourselves.
And it links that feeling directly to sexual freedom. Makes sense, if you're self-conscious.
It's hard to let go, right? Hard to be uninhibited. It even lists common areas people dislike: thighs, butts for women, stomachs for men.
Yeah, the usual suspects. But it gives advice, too.
It does. Focus on the feeling, the skin-on-skin sensation, not just how you look. Act confident, even if you have to fake it a bit at first.
I liked the candlelight suggestion.
Me too. A gradual way to get comfortable being seen. Moving from dark to soft light, maybe eventually full light.
And the reminder that personality is sexy. It's not just about the body.
Totally. Humor, kindness, confidence. Those things are hugely attractive. Focus on the whole package.
Okay, let's shift to the mechanics, sort of. Sexual response and orgasm.
Right. The book explains everyone's response is unique. Different things turn different people on: sounds, smells, looks.
And it lays out those 5 stages: desire, arousal, plateau, orgasm, resolution.
The Masters and Johnson model, refined by Kaplan, adding desire up front. It helps understand the physiological journey. Takes pressure off the idea it has to be instant.
It also busts some myths about orgasm, like it's usually just a few seconds long.
Yeah, the actual muscle contractions. And that women can have multiples, though maybe not bang, bang, bang. Men, too, especially younger, but need that recovery time.
And crucially, menopause doesn't end orgasms for women, and age doesn't kill desire or ability for anyone.
Important points. It also touches on faking orgasms.
Yeah.
Easier for women, it notes.
But the bigger perspective it offers is that orgasm isn't the only goal.
Right, exactly. Enjoy the whole process. The subtle pleasures don't just race to the finish line.
Okay, next up, masturbation.
Presented as completely normal, healthy. For singles, for people in relationships.
Yeah, it talks about why partnered people do it too, different sex drives, maybe less pressure sometimes.
Or just enjoying self-pleasure. The key, it says, is partner acceptance, unless it's totally replacing partnered sex. Then maybe something else is up.
It gets specific too, like different male techniques. And the idea of doing it in front of a partner.
As an educational thing, show them exactly what feels good, direct feedback.
Yeah. And using it as a tool, generally. Men learning to last longer, women finding their triggers.
That self-knowledge can then feed back into partnered sex, make it better for both. That's a good point.
All right, let's turn up the heat. Foreplay, touch, oral sex. The foundations.
Yes. It introduces all-day foreplay, sexy texts, love notes, building anticipation.
And creating a sensual atmosphere, not just routine dinner, then bed. Lights, music, engaging the senses.
Good kissing tips, too. Nuzzling, soft lips, eye contact, where your hands are, being present.
Don't forget sexy attire. Even what's underneath counts. That secret knowledge.
Oh, yeah, and touch. So important, not just genitals, but earlobes, neck, wrists, thighs, feet.
Exploring those erogenous zones, different kinds of touch, stroking, licking, nibbling.
Showering together gets a mention, too. Exploring touch in water. Though, careful with condoms in the shower, it warns.
Good practical point. Then it gets really practical with handy tips for female orgasm.
Literally handy. Get feedback, use lube, circular clitoral motion, maybe simultaneous vaginal stimulation. Don't forget the rest of the body.
And then oral sex gets a big thumbs up.
A huge thumbs up. Intense orgasms, unique tongue stimulation, helps arousal for intercourse, no pregnancy risk, expression of love, lots of reasons.
Gives tips for both cunnilingus and fellatio. Pay attention, practice safely, the whole spit-swallow thing.
Right. And safer oral sex is important. STDs are a risk. Condoms are an option there, too.
It even suggests food play, like whipped cream or honey.
But with cautions. Vaginal infections, condom compatibility, be smart about it. But the underlying theme is try new things, communicate.
Okay, so from forepro to the main event. Positions and playtime.
Variety is key, it argues. Sex is more than just missionary.
Describes it to you. Woman on top for eye contact, doggy style and variations, scissors, the crab, encourages experimenting.
And it discusses anal sex, not just intercourse, but fingers, toys, oral stimulation, enjoyed by various people.
But with very sensible advice. Start slow, lots of lube, comfortable positions, be careful to avoid injury or breaking condoms.
Absolutely. Safety and comfort first when exploring.
Then, something often overlooked, afterplay.
So important. The book stresses it for intimacy, closeness, not just rolling over and sleeping.
Gives lots of examples. More oral, mutual masturbation, just cuddling, talking, massage, music.
Reminiscing about the sex, giving positive feedback, even watching porn together if that's your thing. Continuing the connection.
And it might lead to in-between play, maybe more sex later. It's all part of the whole experience.
Exactly. Affection, intimacy, afterplay seals the deal.
Building on variety, it suggests other ways to spice things up beyond positions.
Right. Food, again, ice. Popsicles as dildos with condoms.
Yeah.
Varying thrusting speed, intensity, at different times of day.
And different locations. This was fun. The attic, the car.
Basement, playground, careful there. Swimming pool. Think outside the bedroom.
Adds excitement, breaks routine. This ties into fantasy, sexy talk, erotica, the mental side.
Fantasies are normal, helpful for arousal, exploring desires. Just check they're healthy, not causing problems or harm.
It mentions a top 10 list, though we don't get the details here. But the mind is powerful.
And talking dirty. Know your partner's preferences, obviously. Be verbal, descriptive. Learn slang. Listen to phone sex lines for ideas, maybe.
Vary your moans and sounds, too. It's all communication.
Phone sex gets a brief mention exploration without physical pressure, but maybe uncertainty.
And porn movies, magazines, online, a common arousal tool. People use it differently, fast-forwarding, etc.
It even suggests making your own sex tape. Basic tips on lighting, angles, privacy.
And just the sheer amount of stuff, online education, stories, chat, explore, and learn.
Loads of resources out there now.
Okay, on to the gadgets. Sex toys.
Increasingly popular, it says. For fun, arousal. Ben Wab balls, dildos, vibrators.
Compares dildos to cars. Firmness sizes, uses clitoral anal harnesses. Versatile.
Vibrators get detailed too. Battery versus wand type, like the Hitachi Magic Wand, often recommended for women struggling with orgasm. Discreet packaging sometimes.
Other toys mentioned. Butt plugs for anal play, with safety base. Ben Wham balls. Cock rings.
And a strong warning. Avoid illegal drugs as aphrodisiacs. Unpredictable, dangerous. Toys are safer.
This leads into exploring sexual variations. Different strokes for different folks.
Like role-playing, cross-dressing, distinguished from being trans, fetishes, normal and less problematic, group sex, needs maturity, shared desire,
And SM, with the absolute fundamental rule being
consent, enthusiastic consent. Without it, it's abuse. But with it, these are valid expressions for those involved.
it also covers tantric sex, more spiritual, focused on connection, mindfulness, breath, energy.
Less goal-oriented than typical Western sex. Stillness, open eyes, a different approach to intimacy broadens the definition of sex.
Next, sexual orientation. The book is clear. Gay, lesbian, bisexual, all normal.
Introduces the Kinsey scale. Orientation is a spectrum, behavior, attraction, fantasy, no right spot on the scale.
Talks about bisexuality, reasons for it, importance of acceptance.
And acknowledges the complexities of coming out for LGBTQ+ people, important for understanding.
The book also considers life stages, sex and pregnancy, for instance.
Physical, emotional changes affecting desire, comfort, breast tenderness, nausea. Exercise helps.
Suggests comfy positions. Side lying, woman on top, mutual masturbation if intercourse is tricky. Notes male adjustments post-birth, too.
Then sex and aging. This was positive. Sex can improve with age.
Addresses female issues like menopause, dryness, and male ones like needing more time for erection ejaculation.
But offers strategies. Try new things, use lube, medication options if needed. Age isn't a barrier to enjoyment.
Okay, critical section. Sexual health and safety. Starting with birth control.
Explains the menstrual cycle briefly, then runs through methods. Hormonal, pills, shots, IUDs, barrier, condoms, diaphragms, natural family planning, emergency contraception.
Even adoption as an alternative. Key message. Use consistently, correctly, talk to a doctor, find what fits you.
Then STDs. Talk about them. Practice safer sex condoms are key.
Lists common ones. Chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, herpes, HPV, hepatitis, HIV/AIDS, UTIs, vaginitis. Described symptoms, treatments.
Highlights that symptoms aren't always obvious, so testing is vital. Don't be embarrassed to get checked.
And self-exams are crucial too.
Monthly breast exams for women, regular mammograms later on, yearly GYN visits. For men, testicular self-exams, awareness of discharge, annual physicals including prostate checks over 40. Be proactive.
Finally, the book tackles sexual problems. Lack of desire, pain, premature ejaculation, ED,
Note psychological factors often play a role. Communication is vital.
and presents sex therapy as a resource. Explains the process, finding a therapist, mentions techniques like sensate focus to reduce pressure, offers hope and practical help.
Yeah, it doesn't just list problems, it points towards solutions.
And to round it all out, there's a glossary and a list of resources, helplines, websites for various support networks.
Tries to be really comprehensive.
Yeah.
A true guide.
So wrapping up this deep dive, wow. The Complete Idiot's Guide to Amazing Sex, despite being from '98, really covered a lot, didn't it?
It really did. Communication, body image, sexual response, masturbation, variety, health. It hits so many key areas.
And the main threads seem to be, open communication, positive body image, understanding yourself and your partner.
Absolutely. Knowledge, respect, connection, both emotional and physical. That's the foundation it builds.
The consistent message is definitely about talking honestly and ditching the shame around sex. Staying curious, experimenting safely.
And prioritizing pleasure, yours and your partner's. It really underscores how open conversations deepen intimacy.
So for everyone listening, maybe think about those societal messages you picked up about sex. Anything you want to reevaluate for yourself.
Yeah, could letting go of an old belief lead to a more positive, more pleasurable experience?
Or maybe even try one of those unconventional locations we mentioned. See what happens.
Perhaps. The point is, this journey of sexual discovery is always ongoing, the more informed and open you are.
And the more amazing it can potentially be. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.